Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And boy, exciting day today about Revolver being officially announced. you know, and first, I want to talk about my friends here. Let you know who they are. A lot of you know them already. Some of you may not. To start with, we have Kit O'Toole, and I just happen to have a couple of her books here. She's written songs we were singing, guided tours through the Beatles' lesser known tracks, and also, along with Ken Womack, the actor known for all these years, fandom, and the Beatles. Okay. And I'm so glad to have my two friends here together, not one, but two legs. We have Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols. They do a Paul McCartney podcast called Two Legs. That's the number two legs. So be sure to always check them out. And well, here we are. And we're just here today to, I don't know, just mull over our feelings or what we think of what's been announced. Just anything. This is all just anything goes. Anybody want to just
So
chime in?
so let's go over the timeline. Like what dropped first today to make it officially official? Because I saw a kid post, I saw Joe post, and other people post, but like what was the timeline of events? Like then I saw a Taxman little teaser thing too. So
Y-
what came out?
Well,
Like what was the announcement? How did it go?
la- last night, Ethan, I don't know if I should drop the name or not, but he sent me
Oh,
the trailer,
Me
that
too.
was on YouTube. Watched it last night, and then everybody started posting that this morning.
Yeah,
wow.
it's tough because I woke up early this morning. Let's just say it dropped last night. I only saw it, about 6:30 a.m. or so, I guess Eastern time here, and I said, "Oh," I said, "the trailer dropped. It's up. It's official." So I'll do my video, and I did a video. Then I find out, well, it's not really. I don't think it was really officially announced by Apple yet. That came a couple hours after. Just,
Well, it's funny because it just seems like everybody's then dropping the ball on this.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, the Beetle fan article shouldn't have been there. It went up on Amazon
Then it came
for
down.
and yeah, then it came down, and then maybe this trailer shouldn't have popped up when it did. I mean, it's the worst. Like Andy said, it was the worst kept secret. For this release.
I mean, this was worse than Pepper,
Right,
Pepper Abbey Road, White Eye West. Nothing
right.
was this. Everything was tight lipped compared to this.
Yeah, I mean, there have been
Hmm.
tons of leaks, and I mean, it's just been a weird rollout.
Right.
It
Because
really has.
Everybody.
wasn't the date going to be the 13th originally that they were going to say it was going to get announced?
Right.
I,
Yeah,
Mm.
I
that's what
think,
I heard. That's what I heard.
mhm,
And it's a good point
yeah,
to know too that Ringo leaked the
Right.
box set a day before the announcement. There
Yeah.
was, he did a little
yeah,
vlog or whatever they call it, right? Ringo's update, and
right.
he talked about the EP3 coming out. By the way, I'm not going to say whoopee doo like Andy did. I'm very excited
That was
about it.
sincere, by the way.
I got my chance.
That
Bang,
was
zoom.
sincere.
Yeah. But seriously, but in addition to that, he Ringo actually, held up, said, "Here and here,
Right.
look at this," and he held up the Revolver
Right.
box set.
See,
So
But
that
here's the
was
thing
and
with that, though, Joe and Tom, real quick. That's fine, but George Giles Martin was tweeting like 10 days, 2 weeks prior saying, "Hope you all like it."
right.
So,
Yeah,
Right.
true.
And Kevin M brings up a good point as well
Hmm.
here, because the Hoppin Forum, it's more and more people are starting to know this. Like 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was kind of more like under the radar, but more and more people are becoming aware of this. The Hoppin Forums, and yeah, there's a few insiders on there that will post pictures when they get them.
mm.
Right.
And me doing this channel, of course, one of the goals is, you want to provide news to people who watch you,
Right.
and you do want to try to get it early. But I don't like th- doing something if it's not official, really. And sometimes I think it's official, and I find, oh, gee, it wasn't. I'm not looking to step on anybody's toes, any of have bad relations with the higher ups, so to speak, or anything like that. I'm not looking to do that. But What's this mean, Mr. Mayo?
Yeah.
Please respond. I thought I did. I mean,
Hi, Sam.
I don't know. Hello to everybody. There's so many people. Sorry, I can't catch you all at once. So has anybody, I know the answer to this already, heard anything from the new Revolver? Because I have. Anybody?
Oh,
Well, you got
yeah.
it already, Joe. Didn't you get it
No,
already?
no,
Yeah.
no. Heck no.
Sean sent you a copy,
No,
right?
I wish, I wish, I wish the Lennon estate was able to do that like they do with the Lennon stuff, but no.
You mean
Well,
when you
I
say
mean,
like heard something, you
Taxman.
actually heard the whole thing, or just that
No,
little
no,
teaser?
no. I mean, a track or two here or there. I mean, Taxman has been
Yeah.
out. Has been. That's what
Right.
I'm referring to.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I've read. Here's the thing. Okay, I'll start it off. Okay. Now here's the one here. Taxman sounds great. Wait, I see if you know where I'm going with this. Taxman sounds great. That's only one I saw. Another one said something like that too. Am I the only one? Well, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
I've always said with the Giles Martin stuff. Here's one right here. I'm hit and miss personally. I like to wait till I get the actual release and I can hear it properly on the
Right.
system.
That's how I feel.
I don't
Yeah.
go by the phone or anybody. But having said that, okay, I had just my little old smartphone here, and so let me hear it. Play it, and you can't really go by that. But I'm listening to Taxman, and I think it was the Atmos one. I think, and I'm thinking again, like I do so many times, not always with every song, but with Giles Martin mixes, I'm like, where was that? Where's that? What happened? I don't know instruments that well. I call it a tambourine at the beginning. Should 5% appear to small? You just kind of shake it. I think it's a tambourine. It's not there. I'm like, where is it? Now I'm listening on the phone, and then there's that part. When he starts going, if you drive a car, I'll tax the street, and you hear the bass, boom, 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 and I'm like, I don't hear the bass. I'm like, it's buried. I'm like, are you kidding? Now I'm only listening on the phone.
Yeah.
All right. But then later in the day, I got together with a friend of mine, and he has Sirius XM. We happened to be listening to a little bit of Giles Martin talking sometime in the afternoon, and they played Taxman on there. And it was the same way on the car radio that I'd heard on the phone. I'm like, where's that little sound of this, and why don't I hear that? And I'm like, I can't judge. I'm not making an official comment on it yet because I'm going to wait till I really get the whole thing. But that's what I thought. I thought, gee, again, sometimes I listen to some of those remixes and I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's more pronounced. But hey, what happened to this
Yeah.
instrument or that key a board thing or whatever? Something's drowned out. And I'm like, no. Anybody else here, Taxman?
Just the snippet.
Yeah, that's all I've heard too. I haven't heard the whole thing, and I'm kind of like you, Joe. I like to hear the whole thing, like the physical media, before I make too much of a judgment on it. I want to hear, really sit with headphones and really
Yeah,
listen to
yeah.
it. But I know what you're saying. I mean, it's sometimes with some of these remixes, you're waiting to hear that particular bass line or whatever it is, and you're like, where is it?
Yeah,
Where'd it
see,
go?
Carl, right, says, I'm with you there, Joe. The bass was non existent for me. I love the bass in Taxman. And I thought I read other people saying different comments on social media that they thought bass was, well, I don't know if they said more centered or deeper or something. So I don't know. We all have different ears,
Yeah,
you know?
that's the problem. Yeah.
And I'm not, I think mainly I'm into these things for the bonuses, really. I like the extra features
Yeah,
a lot,
that's what
you
I'm
know?
Well,
really excited
that's where
about.
we're all gonna head when we get them. Disc 2 and 3 are going in first.
Go first,
Yeah.
right away.
Me too.
An actual
Yeah.
fact, and because I mean, if we get it on release day, I know that what I always do is I'll wake up at like midnight and listen to it streaming first on my phone, and then the box will come later in the mail that day.
Well, I heard some other comments. Somebody said that they had heard Eleanor Rigby, and that the thing I was hoping was corrected is not. Now, again, I don't know if this is true or not. When Paul starts singing and whatever it is, when you hear the Eleanor part, and
Right.
what happens? It's all together, and then it goes separate.
Mhm.
Mm.
It, that it wasn't corrected,
Mhm.
and I don't know. I wait till I hear it, but I thought what I heard from
Huh.
people. So
Mm.
little things like that, you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I am really interested to hear is this whole thing about Yellow Submarine.
yeah,
Mm.
In the press release, it talks about how it originally started as a sad song. I mean, that's new. I've
Mm.
never heard that before. According to the press release, it starts out that evolution. Oh my goodness. Yep. And it starts out with a sad verse. I'm reading from the press release here, sung by John over acoustic guitar. In the town where I was born, no one cared. No one cared. Wow.
yeah. Leave it to
That's
John, huh?
dark.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. I mean, people have said that we always thought it was just given to Ringo. I say people, Giles. Really,
Right.
I just read something like that. That they just, here you go, Ringo, or something like that. But this shows that there's more to it on John and Paul's, and particularly John's, which a lot of people say this is really pretty much a Paul song, and they think there's maybe now there's some change in that when you listen to what they have, which is going to be very interesting for sure.
Yeah.
Um, then we get this question. Do you think every Beatles album left will be released by half year or one for each year in the future as deluxe edition?
Yeah.
Probably one per year, or
Yeah.
however, I
That
don't
would
want
be
to
nice.
oversaturate it.
We'll probably get Rubber Soul next because
Yeah.
that's the one everybody wants the most. Not me, but a
Mhm.
lot of people. And back to talking about Peter Jackson's routine, routine for lack of a better word, system where he's able to isolate things now, instruments that they're working with. You see, I've never been so much for the later albums being remixed. In other words, I like what was done with Pepper. That was my favorite one so far. If I got to pick one, I like the Pepper album. But what I'm interested in is the early ones. I want to see them and Rubber Soul as well. Again because of the way the vocals are. I still want that centering myself. That's what I'm hoping for. That the vocal, it's not all this harsh separation
Yeah.
on the early stereos.
I agree. Yeah. That'll be nice to have it. Yeah, to
Yeah.
balanced out. So yeah, you're not hearing things, instruments in one ear, vocals in the other. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
particularly I've said this before, but I'm looking forward to with the Beatles. As
Oh,
I
me
think
too.
I
Yeah,
love that album.
me too. Thank you, kid. Because you know, it gets such. I mean, these days, it's near the bottom, along with Beatles for Sale. A lot of
Yep.
people tend to put, but I really like that. I love that early, Beatles tough, raw, raunchy '63 style
Mm.
Beatlemania really taking off.
I
Really good.
um I kind of disagree with Padge here when she says this is John's album. I think this is one of the more
Oh,
Even,
oh
Yeah,
yeah, for
evenly
I agree.
sure.
matched
Oh
even.
albums.
yeah,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
Oh,
awesome.
for sure.
John's
John,
contributions are great, but Paul's and George's
it's
contributions
the
are
Oh
most
great
man,
evenly
too.
even Beatle album, other than the White Album with the 4 George songs. You've got 3 George
Right.
songs in this album, and the John and Paul songs. It's probably the most even balanced
I
Beatles
agree.
album
Yeah.
out
I
there.
agree.
I
And Paul,
agree.
I mean, John's doing his thing, and Paul's doing his thing,
Yeah.
and George is doing his thing
Yeah.
too, actually.
Right. On a
But I mean,
14-track
yeah,
album, you've got three
Right.
George tracks, so it's
yeah,
pretty
Hmm.
significant.
yeah. As much as I love John, no, Paul is right there. I mean, they're both there,
Yeah.
on this. Of course, talking about the original UK
Hmm.
album, not the US version.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. But oh no, I mean they were. I mean that's why I just love this album so much because I mean they were all
Yeah.
on their A game on this album for sure.
Yeah, I've heard this too. Donovan wrote some of lyrics for Yellow Submarine, and I'm forgetting what they are now. And I don't think what Lennon said it. I thought Donovan said it. I heard an interview somewhere, and I can't remember what the heck. Somebody will tell us. I hope.
Yeah.
I don't know if
And
we'll see a
everybody's
green.
throwing in great contributions on other people's tracks too. I mean, the tape loops. I mean, Paul's
Yeah.
guitar solo on Taxman. George, contributing what. Then we've learned that he just contributed lyrics to Eleanor Rigby from the lyrics book. And his work on Tomorrow Never Knows as well. I mean, they
But
were all
who really
going
played bass on She Said, She Said? You
right.
know? Maybe we'll figure that out once and for all.
Yeah, yeah. This is Sky of Blue, Sea of Green.
Mhm.
That's what it is. I think said to be. Yeah, but the thing on Eleanor Rigby, there's so many different. Am I wrong? Sources about who wrote what,
Yeah.
beginning with John and Paul, and George. He said that he wrote. I even thought the "I'll Look at All the Lonely People" was attributed to George
Mm.
at
Mhm.
one point.
Yeah.
Pete Shotton had a few uh,
Mm.
memories of that too.
Yeah. Yep.
So are Amazon links up yet or no?
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah,
UK was up
yeah.
early.
I think Mitch Axelrod posted a link to the Amazon.
Mhm.
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus,
So
when it went up originally a few days ago, I pre-ordered it then, and it looks like they're
They're
sticking with
honoring it?
Yeah, they're honoring it. Yeah,
Because those links came down real quick.
yeah. But it's
Mhm.
still in my order. When I go to Amazon and go into my orders, it's
Mm-hmm.
still there.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, somebody pointed out earlier in the comments, yeah, it's
Mhm.
true when Paul said he thought the whole album was out of tune
Right?
when it
Yeah,
came
Yeah.
out. Yeah, that
right.
is just hilarious. And yeah, he had to be convinced.
Hmm.
I don't know where he came up with that, but
Now,
Looks
what
like
about?
it's going to be a thicker box than Abby, about the same size as maybe Let It Be, or a little bit thinner, slimmer. I
No,
don't
now
know.
are you
It seems
guys
slim to me.
now I know you guys really care about this,
Tom and I do.
Yeah,
Uniformity.
yeah,
Yes.
both of you. Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be is the continuity going to be there? I don't
Uh,
know.
no, no. It's gonna. Well, it's gonna be.
It
Well,
looks it looks
it
right
looks
around
like
the same
Abbey
size
Road,
as Abbey Road. Yeah,
don't you
It looks
think?
bigger than that, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
No, we'll
I
see.
don't know.
We'll see.
From the photo of Ringo's, I'm just going by.
Hey, I mean, they're all different sizes, so might as well just keep going with that.
Yeah,
you
really,
know?
really.
Just you're just going to have
Yeah,
to live with it, guys.
yeah.
140 on Amazon? Man.
Let's see.
I'm
Yeah.
going to be honest. We all buy these things, and just for me personally, I play the hell out of it when it comes out, and it's the newness of playing it.
Same
And
here.
I'll play it digitally a lot, but
Yeah.
then pulling it off the shelf, I don't pull it that off the shelf that often. After
Yes,
those
same
first few
here.
months, I don't.
It's sitting at $139.98 on Amazon right now.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not that I don't want. It's just how much can you consume in a given day of product? Abbey Road, Let It Be, the White Album. Like digitally, I'll listen to these mixes all the time, in the car, whatever, working out.
Right.
But to pull it off the shelf and go through it, how
Mhm.
often does any of us do that? Really?
Let's see. Which Beatles albums were recorded on 2-track and when did they switch to 4-track?
With Beatles for sale. What? Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Please, please me. Paulina, hi, says.
Oh, yeah.
Please, please me was recorded on 2 and 3 track with the Beatles on 4 track. These are standard things I should know myself. I don't know
I know,
how
me
you feel,
too.
but there's little things like that that just escape you,
Yep.
for whatever reason. But yeah,
It'll be really nice. I mean, I know here that's not even out yet, and we were like thinking about, well, what's coming next, right? What's coming out next?
yeah.
Like,
We're
it's
so
not even
greedy.
here yet.
And I hate saying this, but I will because I started. Everybody finding things to complain about already. Hey, I'm the biggest complainer. You know that. Everybody that watches me, I'll complain. I'll tell you what I like, what I don't like. I'll grouse when I have to. But people are saying, "Oh, there's no Blu-ray
Yeah.
this time." I don't really care. I've never listened to the Blu-ray. Maybe
I
one
don't
day I
either.
will.
No,
Yeah.
you either, Kit.
No. Yeah, that's not as important to me. I have to agree.
Some
Yeah.
people swear by those Blu-ray
I
mixes, man.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I know there are some very upset people out there.
All right.
Yeah.
See, and that's the thing is okay. So if this is probably going to be the norm, then no Blu-ray. Let's see. I mean, they're going to hear our complaints, right? I mean, they heard our complaints about the Let It Be, EP CD, right?
Yep.
So what they're and then they did it. They're doing it again with this one. So
That's my
obviously
main
they're
complaint.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna do what they want to do.
Yep.
I
So it
wanted to
really
bring
doesn't
up
matter what we think.
the
Hmm.
EP because
Hmm.
a lot of people are complaining, and I guess for myself, I'm trying to be fair. I can understand the idea where you could fit it elsewhere. You don't need another disc, make it drive up the
Hmm.
price or whatever. But I kind of like the idea and the way they're presenting it. You see, they have it in like a standard parlophone
Mm.
singles kind
Hmm.
of sleeve. I like the way it's like, well, it's not really part of the album, so you kind of have it's like when you would pull out like a 45 or an EP in
Right.
real real life before all this, and it's its own entity. I don't mind that so
Right.
much, to tell you the truth. Price wise, but I like the idea. Well, if I want to hear Paperback Writer and Rain and hear the different mixes, I can just pull out the Paperback Writer and Rain disc on its own, maybe
Hmm.
unrelated to the album. I don't mind it so much, but price wise,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's my objection. Yeah. For
What's
that
that,
kind of.
Kit? Oh, the price with the EP?
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
that's,
Yeah.
you
It
know.
could have. I agree.
Mhm.
I understand wanting to keep the integrity of the album. Don't put any bonus materials on the actual remix album. I get that. Um, but you could have put Paperback Writer maybe on disc 2 and then Rain maybe on disc 3. Just to even it out. But I mean, they've got it all evened out already for the vinyl because these sets have to match, right? I mean,
Right.
the CDs have to be able to fit. Disc 2 has to be able to fit on one record, right? So disc 3 has to be able to fit on
It's on the same
on on
thing,
on
right,
yeah,
Tom?
same
Right.
thing. So it looks like that's how they've been, you know, doing this.
See, an
Music,
EP in vinyl form doesn't bother me. Like if you want to
because
do it,
it's right,
yeah,
right. But on a
special EP in vinyl
CD,
form,
come on,
fine.
Brady. Right,
And it
right.
does look like on the vinyl edition they've got a 45 there, which looks like it's going to be the Paperback Writer Rain. Maybe one side is stereo and one side is mono.
Hmm.
Two on two. Yeah,
Yeah,
two.
two on
Yeah.
two. Yeah, yeah.
So Music Time's got a good question. Why the inclusion of Paperback Writer and Rain now? He thought they'd be on a remixed Past Masters in a few years. Well, if you're
oh,
following suit here with Pepper, they included
Right.
Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane because they were recorded during the era.
Right.
Same deal here with Paperback Writer and Rain. These
Yeah.
Yep.
were recorded during these sessions, and it makes perfect sense for it to be on this box set, in my opinion.
Same with
Yep.
yeah.
Hey Jude and Revolution on the White Album.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So I
That's
can't even remember. We talked about listening to things when they were out and then putting them away. I don't remember everything they did, like say on the White Album Deluxe. What was if they had this or that, Hey
Hmm.
Jude and Revolution. Time to dig that out.
yeah.
Listen to it again.
I
Yep.
should, I should really just dig out the Sergeant Pepper one and listen. I mean, it has because that's the thing is, we're always anticipating the next release. So we listen to it, we review. Blah, 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 I can't talk. We review it, and then it's on the shelf, right? And
Right.
it's just, when's the next one coming out?
Right.
Well, Christian, I don't know if you mean originally. I would get rid of Good Day Sunshine and start side two up with Paperback, right?
Ah, you're evil.
Whoa.
I'd get rid of I Want to Tell You.
Well, me too,
But
Oh,
actually.
boo.
Put Rain in there,
yeah, put Rain in,
somehow.
yeah. Not
But
that I don't like the song. I mean, but if you're looking to replace a song with Paperback Writer or Rain, you know, unfortunately, that one would go.
I would
In
put
my
Dr.
opinion.
Robert.
Okay.
uh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that was a surprise. The demo version of Let It Be on the White Album. I
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm.
surprised by that.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
Wow.
looking for other.
I agree with world's #1 EP3 enthusiast. I love that name. That yeah, the Sergeant Pepper box set is probably still my favorite. That but yeah, well, in terms of the outtakes, was your least favorite. Interesting, but the remix, yes, I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah.
you. That was those remixes were eye opening. I
Not
mean,
to
they
include,
really
yeah,
were.
not putting only a northern song on there was a shame, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I
But this, I
agree.
mean, this is the thing. It's massive, you know. I mean, look at this thing.
Mhm.
Where's mine? Tom's always at his fingertips. It doesn't matter.
I know.
Well, you know, listen, you got multiple music rooms. You know.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's
geez.
not that big of a room, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've
So,
been in it. It
yeah.
may not be, but it's packed.
Actually, you know the little mini fridge I had in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
Mhm.
rid of it to
I
make
would
room
think
for
so.
to
With the
make room for a new
85,000 Wings
bookshelf.
singles you've bought over the last 6 months.
Mhm.
I get,
Oh, I
you know,
wouldn't dump Yellow Sub. I love Yellow Submarine,
Yeah.
but moreover, it's Ringo. Ringo has to have a track.
Yeah, you got to give Ringo
yeah.
something. Come on.
You know,
Well, they didn't give him anything on Let It Be.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
this is true.
Mhm.
But it's like, you know, I think we're looking forward to this because, like, sonically, Rubber Soul, Revolver, and even Pepper, those were the three that could be really improved the most. Abbey Road and Let It Be were really great sounding records to begin with. I
Yeah.
mean, how much more sonically pleasing could they have been, you know, revamped those? These records are the ones that are going to be really, you know, I think everybody's going to enjoy.
Yep. Yeah, particularly Abbey Road. I remember when that came out, and it was great and everything. But I kind of thought, what could you do to improve this that much? Because that was a clean sounding album to begin
Hmm.
with.
Already, 2009, even the 87 EMI CDs,
Hmm.
it's okay. Good record.
Now, somebody mentioned above. Oh yeah, Matthew Smith. White Album, Best for Extras. Not a great remix though on the main album. I will say, Long, Long, Long was a
Yeah.
pretty good. That was a good
That was
remix.
damn good. You're right, Kit.
Yeah,
Well,
because I'm not a huge fan of that song, but that remix did improve it for me. I
yeah,
mean,
that
it
and you know,
really
Kit, you're
did.
not alone. I've heard other fans say they like it now. They didn't really think much of it before that, and I
Hmm.
do think it really helped. However, at the same time, I remember thinking at the time, as good as the remix is on that, I think it took some of the ominous feeling about it or
Hmm.
dark vibe away from it, like
Yeah.
by
I
doing that.
don't know. It just well, Tom, you were there at the Monmouth conference
Hmm.
where they were playing
Yeah.
parts of it, and I remember them playing that
Hmm.
at one of the dinners, and I mean, you could hear a pin drop when
Right.
that was playing, and I just was. I mean, everybody was just like, "Wow." I mean, because when they said that, we're going to play Long Long Line, I thought, oh, okay, not one of my favorites, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And the remix was just, I mean, everybody's jaw dropped.
Right.
I mean, it was just
Yeah.
like a whole new way to listen to that
I
song.
agree. I agree.
Hmm.
Well, White Album wise, the things after not hearing it for a few years,
Yeah.
what still sticks in my craw is, of course, Helter Skelter. With I've got blisters on my fingers,
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
on
weird.
on the
Weird
mono.
choice.
being this very quieted down
Oh,
Yeah.
on the Giles Martin mix, and also I think John's bass is not as pronounced as I like it.
Mhm.
You know, I still prefer my White Album is probably the 1988 CD of that. I like
Really?
oh, the
the
first one on CD.
and stereo. I don't like the mono White Album.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Uh, and of course, while my guitar gently weeps, there was something going on in that too, with George moaning louder in different spots and stuff at the end. And I'm like, and there are things I did not like on that, and other things I did like. I think I
Mhm.
remember liking Dear Prudence and maybe
Hmm.
Glass Onion. I'm trying, it's been a while. Like, wow, got to give it another listen.
Now, here's something interesting, and I can't believe I'm already jumping ahead to Rubber Soul, and we haven't even heard Revolver yet. But it'll be interesting to see because I've actually always preferred the American version of Rubber Soul. And normally I don't say that. Normally I don't. Yeah,
Me
I've
too.
always I've always liked the American because I like the acoustic, like the all acoustic
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
feel.
Mm.
So I wonder if they would consider, releasing in the box set. I mean, I would love if they do this, if they would have obviously the remastered British version,
Right.
but I would love it if
American.
they would put out
Ooh.
Mm.
the US version, like, have that as another perhaps CD where they'd have the US version, you know.
Yeah. See, but if they were gonna do that for Rubber Soul, they would have done that with this with Revolver.
I know, I
Yeah.
know, I know. It's a fantasy, but I've
But
just always like,
you've got the Rubber Soul. I mean, you've got the U.S. Rubber Soul. If you on CD, if you want it.
yeah, true. I know. Yep. Yeah, I know, Ollie. It's very doubtful, but I can agree because I've always preferred that version. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, I grew up with it, and I can't hear it any other way. Although once I got into the UK albums, some things changed for me with the UK that
Hmm.
I was able to better accept. But I always had trouble with Drive My Car starting off Rubber Soul.
Exactly. That
Uh,
that was it. That was it. Because really, that is the only album where I prefer the American version.
yeah, and we've said this so many times. I know, but some people may be hearing it from me for the first time. But to me, on the UK Help, after growing up in America, songs like "I've Just Seen a Face and It's Only Love" seem just like buried and just thrown on there. I love them opening up the different sides of the U.S. Rubber
Mm.
Soul.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when we finally got in, was it '87, the CDs, when we finally got the British versions, I was stunned when I was like,
This is Rubber
where are
Souls.
they? This is
Right.
Rubber Soul.
This is not the Rubber Soul I know.
I mean, I do like "Nowhere Man" on Rubber Soul. I guess
Yes.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
You
that's
know,
okay. Yeah, I can deal with that.
Funny. It's funny as American fans. You some of us were programmed. We used to the American one, and then we deprogrammed ourselves to get used to the British ones, like I did. But I know
yeah.
I think Tom. All you knew was the British one, right?
Yeah, and I'm
See,
very happy for it.
Wow.
right. See, that's a different case.
I
But
have
Tom
no
just
desire to listen to those US versions.
right
Mhm.
because he's just where he has with his age and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just interesting where some people
Yeah.
might have, heard the American one and then kind of just forced themselves to like the British one, like I did, but still love the American one.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute, but you're younger than
Yeah,
Tom
but
is,
his
Randy.
dad, I mean, his dad
Oh,
had
from
all
your
the
dad?
US. Yeah.
Everything. And
Yeah.
my dad bought that album, when it came out. So I had
Wow.
it. I was exposed to it first, through him.
And
That's
for the record, was Brian Wilson influenced by the U.S. Rubber Soul or UK?
U.S.
Yeah, it had
Because
to
I
be the
heard
which
US.
which he went to go on and make
versions.
a great album, which you don't like, Joe. Pet Sounds. Sorry, I'll
Yes.
work on you.
Yeah. I'm so
Yeah, I
glad
know.
that.
We'll convert you. I was converted.
Thank
I was with you.
you.
I was like you for a while, Joe, but I
Now
finally was converted.
3 strikes and it's out. I gave it 3 listens.
Oh, come on.
I'm not going to give
How
it like.
many listens do you have to give something before you finally say, you know what, I don't like it?
Well, we need Ken
You
Michaels here
know?
to help us answer that one.
I want to get Ken Womack because I know what he'll say.
What will he say?
He'll side with me and Kid.
Yep.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, look, I admit I'm in a minority. I
Hmm.
mean, there's no
Yeah.
Oh
problem
no,
there.
I've talked to other people who didn't like Pet Sounds, and I was one of them that thought it was overrated for years. But then, I finally I listened to it on headphones, and it was Ken Womack. He forced me to cover it for the record club, and I was like, oh, okay, But then I listened to it on headphones, and I'm like, you know what? I get it. I get it now.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I was,
I guess.
it took me many years,
Yeah.
but
But it
yeah.
was the U.S. It was the U.S. version of Rubber Soul that Brian Wilson, because he liked the folky thing with "I've Just Seen a Face," and that was the whole vibe of the record that you guys have mentioned that you like about
Yeah. And, and as I said many times, there are people who say, and I sometimes even have said,
Mhm.
you got to go with what the Beatles intended. That's what they wanted. And I've stuck with that a lot in my Beatle life.
Mhm.
But then there are times where I think, like, well, they're not infallible. It's not like they
Oh,
always
sure.
had the best ideas,
Oh no, absolutely
every
not.
time. And I think Capitol sometimes improved on it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
want to hold your hand as an opening track, for example. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not just a single, or Can't think of other examples. When you need them, they're not right there, right? Other examples of what you prefer. And Your Bird Can Sing, opening up side two of Yesterday and Today. Boom, right into And Your Bird Can Sing. I think it's a good decision. You know.
But yeah, Woodland Goblin mentioned earlier. Yeah, UK Rubber Soul is a pop rock album. US Rubber Soul is a folk album. Yeah, that's a you know good summary. Yeah, and I was used to the folk album of Rubber Soul, and I like that. So yeah, when those CDs came out in '87, I was just like, what? This isn't Rubber Soul.
Yeah, Beatles' second album, Matthew. I often say that's my favorite Beatles album.
Mhm.
It's up
E-
there.
Even with the reverb, and even not the way the Beatles intended, and with covers, I just like the fact that it's early rockin' Beatles and Motown's thrown in,
Mhm.
and I just love the energy in it and the rock and roll of it. Really is what I like about it.
Yeah, that reverb though, that reverb was not a
No,
good choice.
I
um,
tell you, on second album, I enjoy it. I love that reverb. It's just there's something
yeah, I do.
about
I
it.
like it.
I
What
like
did
it.
I was listening to something recently that had a Beatles song that has reverb, and I can't remember what it was on the UK even.
Mhm.
And I was like, why did they do that? And I forget what it was. Jeez, because I'm watching videos I do this from time to time of people who are listening to the Beatles albums the first time and they're giving their reactions to them. I like get a kick out of that, first time listens. And well, was one song I can't think what it was. Well, if it comes to me, I'll let you know.
Mm,
Well, I know For
interesting.
Me to You was one of them. I don't know why that was so reverby. Is that the right
Mhm.
word? Echoey. For Me
Yeah.
to You. Maybe that was the one.
Yeah, I kind of remember, yeah, that was very echoey.
Well, sometimes they need some toughening up. I don't mind telling you. Going off on tangents here, but that's fine. The best example is for me. I Feel Fine and She's a Woman. Now,
Mhm.
when I was younger, I used to listen to Beatles '65, and I would hear I Feel Fine and She's a Woman, and they were they were reverby, but it's been established. I believe people correct me if I'm wrong, but George Martin actually prepared those. I Feel Fine and She's a Woman.
Mhm.
I've heard. But anyway, then when
Mhm.
the first time I finally got it and listened to the UK versions, it was so clean. It was so great to hear She's a Woman so clean, and I Feel Fine so clean. These days, I feel different. It's too
Mhm.
clean. It's too sterile. There's
So you go
no
back. You go back to the other
yeah.
ones.
There's no oomph to it. When I listened again to She's a Woman, I Feel Fine capital versions, they just sound like they have a punch and a rawness
I
to
remember
it.
now. It's like we're listening to songs that were made to basically be played on a radio through like
Yeah.
one speaker, not these 10 speaker home theaters that we have now.
Good point.
Little transistor radio, and that was it.
Mhm.
For most people, if you were living, unless you had one of those nice big, furniture type stereos that took up half your living room.
Good point.
So
Those were
you always
cool
want
though.
to,
I wish those would make a comeback though. I love those big, the
oh
console if you want to call it that. I don't,
Yeah.
yes,
Where was I listening? You guys, again, I listen to a lot of your shows that I missed, especially when you interview people or when you have Q&As in general. And Tom, I forget what it was. You were mentioning the stereo console. I forget who you
right.
were asking. You said, were you listening to it on the stereo console
my
too?
dad.
Oh
Oh, was
yeah,
it one
you're
with your
talking your
dad?
dad. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Right.
okay. I did listen to that show. So, and my mother had one of those,
Yeah. So
and
did mine.
we listened. And I remember I listened to the Beatles. My biggest memory is Love Songs, the Beatles Love Songs album. I
Yeah.
listened to one. I used to like lie down. It was in the dining room actually. We had it in the dining room. You had a kitchen, a living room, a dining room in the middle, and the living room. The dining room was the middle. The lights would be out. I'd be laying down on the rug,
Mhm.
listening softly though, because I didn't want to disturb the rest of the house. And
Mhm.
I used to listen to records like that. I remember listening to the
Right.
Spy Who Loved Me, Carly Simon single
Yeah.
Ah.
like that. So it's 77ish is when I was doing that and
Hmm.
love songs and everything. Yeah, those
That's always a
stereo.
pet peeve too. Like I think Joe, I think we all experienced this. Some of those albums that are double or triple albums, the way that the albums are paired, sides one and 1 and
Yeah.
4.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
they had to do that for those kind of players because they do this auto flip thing, right, Joe?
Yeah.
I mean,
The records would drop, right?
Right, right.
You're
So
like,
you would
Yep.
not auto flip, but you would
or
have like
whatever.
the stack of records.
The stack.
So it would drop,
Yes.
and you'd have record one, and then the second after that was finished,
This
the
right.
needle would go back, and the second
But
record
that's
would drop.
so.
Yeah.
I know. I think Bangladesh is like that. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Oh man, that's so annoying.
So you would do like one, and then two would drop, and then you flip them over, and you'd have three would drop.
Right.
Yep.
So if you
Four.
didn't want that, you wouldn't you didn't stack it. You know.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You wouldn't put it in. Okay.
You didn't have to stack them.
Yeah.
You know.
A lot of people are talking about. I think we said this once before. Was it that Good Day Sunshine didn't need a lot of work? Is that what?
No.
why that,
3 takes, I think.
Yeah.
but then why aren't there other takes, even if there's three? You know.
I agree.
Yep.
Gotta scrape that barrel, bottom of the barrel, get every single thing.
And there never will be. There's not going to be other stuff left.
We
in
want
there.
everything, damn it.
That's right.
Everything.
Every little thing.
Oh,
Every
that's
little
it.
Every
thing.
little
Very
thing.
good.
Whenever
Very
the tape was turned off, put it out.
We want to hear what they ordered for lunch.
Mhm.
Well, you can do that with one of John's stuff.
Yeah.
Some of
I want
John's
to know
stuff.
if George was ordering cauliflower, cheese and cauliflower, as early as '66.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, see, Tim
man.
Allen. Yeah, he grew up with a console
Yep.
stereo.
And,
I figured that. Yeah.
and
And
then
that's-
you can open the cupboard and stack. You put your records in there.
I was just going to say, well, the one we had, they didn't have like an opening. They had like this little slot on the side for your albums. And if you had more than like 7 or 8 albums,
right,
you were in trouble.
right,
Mhm.
and you're
Yeah.
double.
you couldn't collect like 2,000 albums.
Right.
Oh my
No.
God.
That's funny.
Kicking it old school.
One of the things about the old days that wasn't so good there, right?
Right.
I like those IKEA shelves and things.
They're not even that good though. They break after a while.
Oh, don't say that. So,
I've had luck with mine.
The IKEA ones, oh man,
Yeah.
I've gone through them. They did not last. I had to have all mine custom made.
and mine are not bolted either to the wall, so I don't want to hear another 7 years.
Oh,
and
I don't
counting.
do that either.
No,
Neither of those. Those back there were supposed to be, I don't know, these bookcases. They were supposed to be like interlocked, each one of them. They're not.
Mhm.
Ah!
Yeah, right.
It's like, don't say it.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Oh man.
but you guys locked it in for all the formats, vinyl, CD, or you just
Oh, that's a good
Just-
question.
Just the box set. Just
Yeah,
the CD.
this is
the
Um,
CD, Tom?
Yeah, just the CD.
You're not getting the vinyl?
No, I'm pretty
Blasphemous.
for these. I've just been sticking with the.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The CD box set. Yeah.
Hey, these are not Paul McCartney solo things. What do you think? They're Beatles. He doesn't need the Beatles and everything.
Same thing, instant.
No.
Both CD and box. Let's go.
I'm gonna go
Dive
CD and vinyl LP boxes, and I also, believe it or not, I'll probably do the two CDs set.
Oh wow.
Well,
Okay.
because you know why that is, and it's a simple reason. I think this might have come up before.
It's easier taking the car.
It's just you got them over there, this thing here.
You
this
can't play
cabinet
CDs
here.
in cars.
Yeah,
You
this
need
is what-
to-
I can.
Instead of taking the box, the cover off, and all this stuff, it's more like a.
Oh,
you
just
know.
to grab it, and that's a good point.
Yeah, just to
You
grab
know.
and go. Yeah.
Okay, what
There
about
you go.
you?
All right. I am getting the super deluxe CD box set, whatever it is, the top of the, just the CD.
Just the CD.
Yeah. Yep. Because, then I can, put that on my computer. It'll go on my phone. It'll
There
go,
you- right. Right.
can play it anywhere. And, and then, they'll still get the book. I'm looking forward to the book too.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
100-page book. We didn't mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the addition of the one of the early concepts for the album cover with the
With-
Yeah.
The rejected
collage,
thing, the
yeah.
collage
Very
by Klaus,
cool.
which
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Matt
that's
glad
Sprink
they're-
did a great job in talking about that.
I'm glad they're
Um,
incorporating that into.
I just want to say for fun stuff, it says the mix of Taxman that came out today is the definitive version for me now. Never liked the separation of the instruments in the '09 stereo mix. Well, like I said earlier, I'm still going to wait officially till I hear it myself on the actual release. But from what I heard on the radio of Sirius XM of it and on the phone, I want to hear the instruments. Period. I don't want to hear them, non-existent or wiped out. Some of them I thought were missing. You listen to a song 200,000 times, it gets burned in your head, and it's like, where's that keyboard? Where's that
Right.
triangle or whatever it is? I'm
Yeah.
like, something's missing. I hate that. Which I think maybe I'm wrong again. I always like to leave that open. But Paul Hicks, I like the Paul Hicks stuff. It seems what's there is just much more clear, and sometimes it happens with Giles and Sam. Sometimes I think things are missing. I seem to remember Penny Lane one time listening to that on the one remix, and again, don't remember exactly what it was missing to my ear, or something maybe was louder. I'm like, yeah, it's just not the way I remember it.
Yep.
And you could argue, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
If it's going to be exactly the same,
20
why do one? You might say.
So what do we have to wait? About 7 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Today we were listening to you, Kate. I was in the car with my friend Anthony, and I said, "Oh, it was like 12:30 p.m. or something," and I said, "Let's put on and see if Caitlin's on." And yeah, and we heard Taxman, and we heard also a little bit of Giles Martin speaking. You know.
Cool. Hey,
Yep.
Caitlin.
Hi, Caitlin.
Oh yeah,
Hey.
I hate this garbage part. Yeah, we talked about this, right? Does anybody like that? Anybody
No.
got a little bit of money? Anybody like a little bit?
It's annoying.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but it doesn't work. I mean,
No.
although if all the releases, I mean, I don't know if sometime in New York City's coming out, and God knows what else is coming out. I think we're all going to be chanting that by December.
Yeah.
What
give me
Beach
some money.
Boys box, possibly, Matt Smith? I'm curious. Which one's up next?
Yeah, what's that going to
Well,
be?
the thing is, with we don't know what's happening with sometime in New York City, right? The rumors are that it's not happening now, or it's just delayed, or what?
Move on to Mind Games. Call it a day.
No, don't agree at all. Well,
Yeah.
well, maybe put it off a while, see what you're going to do with it later down the line. But
It's got to come out eventually.
Yeah.
But if they were going, I mean, I don't know if they were going to do it by popularity. I would, I don't know. I would say Double Fantasy probably.
Walls and
Yoko's
bricks.
still here.
Don't I don't if you're not don't do these if you're not going to release all of them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, I hear birds singing.
Kit. That's Kit's
Oh.
backyard.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
That's
Or it's the locusts. The locusts
Yeah.
are going
Hey,
really singing
Chaos
right
and
now.
locusts in Kit's backyard.
Yep.
and I think Kit's bird can sing.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I like the idea of maybe sometime in New York City falling for the 50th anniversary, but hey, if it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen.
Mhm.
This year, a lot of people be very happy about that.
Yeah.
I do, and the thing is,
I do too.
it also gives it another chance for reevaluation. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
going to happen. I'm not saying it's going to work, but it happened to other albums. I mean, McCartney 2, I think, got a real boost when McCartney 2 came out
Sure did.
on the
Yes, it
archive,
did.
Sure did.
and some
And
others
plus
as well.
It gives us another show to do on Talk More Talk.
That's right. They're screwing up our schedule. Damn it. Come on.
Yeah, Tim
Mind
thinks
Games-
maybe.
Oh,
I'm
I'm sorry, Joe. World's #1 said Mind Games really needs a remix. Vocals are too low. Seek out the '02 remix, my friend.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, that's
Seek out the
amazing.
2002 remix. That's where the vocals are brightened up, and it is a tremendous remix of a great album.
Yeah, that's anybody who doesn't really care for Mind Games too much needs to listen to that
Yes,
for sure.
Yep.
because it's might be hard to find these days, but that is the best remixing job on all of John's albums, in my opinion.
And then a good job was done with rock and roll
Yes.
as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go. More compliments on the garden.
Yes, I'm totally sure. It
She's
sounds
and
right now.
the gnomes are going to come out in a second too. She's got the
Oh,
gnomes in
boy.
there.
That's Thank you.
That's all that's missing are the gnomes.
That's right.
Waiting for We're All Water, are we?
Yeah.
Now wait a minute. Who
Hey,
said
We're
that
All
too?
Water
Joe
is a
loves that.
jam. I like it.
Oh,
I
See,
do.
now I didn't even know this. Thank you. I didn't know Paul
Oh.
Hicks did the 2002 remix.
No wonder why you like it so much.
There you go. Oh, Matthew said it's funny.
I hear you.
Will work for box sets.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, what else regarding the Revolver? I mean, there's only so much you could say at this point. Do you think it was strange that the cover doesn't have the Revolver title on it? The box
Hmm.
that Ringo's holding up doesn't have
like the
Revolver on it.
album?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big thing, but
Mhm.
I just we're looking for things to talk about.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
I wonder if it's to, give Cos Mormon's artwork, the fullest
Maybe.
display.
Maybe when you open it up, you'll see the word, on another image, maybe on the book,
Mhm.
or on the CDs that like the CDs. Maybe we'll see them on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Are you getting the little slip covers, or the CDs just in the little pocket things? Right. Tom, did you notice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're in the little slip covers, and then they got the kangaroo pouches. So
Right. So you might see
it's
the
not just it's
Right.
not just the CD in the pouch. It's
they're in
the
the little
actual,
slip. So you
yeah,
might
they're in
get
the little
you might get the title
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
the smaller version, but maybe for the
Right.
box, the unadorned thing, they wanted to just show Klaus's artwork.
And I'm
Which
curious if he owns that, and if he gets any kind of residual for any like like when they came out in 2009. Did he get any monies for? I mean, if he owns it. I mean, if he owns it, the artwork. But then if it's on a Beatle record, I mean, I wonder if the Beatles then own that artwork. I'm kind of curious how that works.
Hmm.
You know. But then again, that would include every album. Then whoever's
Right.
artwork it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, who took the photos? Robert Freeman, Robert
Yeah.
Fraser. These are all people that took
Yeah,
the photos.
exactly.
Peter
Right.
Blake, Pepper.
Right. Right.
Well, Henry, I probably like the Sergeant Pepper remix the best. As far as extras, I thought they were all pretty interesting with extras. Probably the White Album for
Mhm.
extras.
Mhm.
Everybody else.
I would say probably Sergeant Pepper's my number one with maybe White Album second. I think you're right.
As of right now, let's see how the Revolver sounds.
Right.
Maybe,
I mean,
maybe
yeah,
that
as
might,
of now.
yeah,
As of now,
knows?
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
White Album, and Pepper, right for me. In that order.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Agree.
A lot of people are saying how much they like Mind Games. I'm noticing that's become a favorite of many people.
Yeah,
That's another album
sure
that's
has.
just becoming up
It
in
sure has.
stature.
It should, as it should,
Mhm.
as it should.
I'm a Walls and Bridges girl, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Walls and
Mind
Bridges.
Games is still number 4 for me.
Mhm.
But
Love Walls and
I
Bridges.
still like it, of course. But there's not
Oh
much
yeah.
to choose from with John, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, John's. Did they play a little bit of John's demo? One of those trailers for the new. I saw a couple of different ones, and I think one of them had John singing, if I'm not mistaken, the part about what she said, making me feel like my trousers are torn.
Yes.
Oh man. That sounds like John.
Yeah, I've heard that. Well, I mean, that's on the. We've heard that on. The Lost Lennon tapes.
Oh right. Yeah.
Yeah. Slow
Yep.
everything.
It's not new to me, but it was a lot
Right.
clearer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's much clearer on this.
That's probably the demo. Wasn't it supposed to be a demo?
Home
that?
demo.
The home demo. That's what.
Over a
That's
home demo.
Mhm.
Yeah, and is anybody sure now? Are we official that the list that we thought originally that came out a while ago was rumored to be the final one is indeed the one that's going to be?
I think so. I think it was
Yeah.
pretty darn accurate. Yeah.
You can zoom in on that photo of
Yeah.
Richie Rings holding up the box. You can pretty much make it out to see.
Yeah.
It looks like the same track listing that was rumored that was out there.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because no matter what I did, I tried all kinds of different ways to get a clearer look at it, and you couldn't, right? And but you could make out like it looks like, and your bird can sing. Like how many like words are
Right.
there? It looks like that's the right amount of words
It
there.
is.
Yep.
That's a sickness.
Yeah.
There you
Not the
go.
words. But we all have it.
That's right.
Yeah, a lot of good. Some people are mentioning from Mind Games. Yeah.
Okay, so
hmm
it's looking like the box won't have the revolver on the bottom, but when you take the CD out, it'll have the revolver on the bottom. You
Right.
see it. So it's just the box is just the Klaus's artwork.
Which I
Right.
think is actually cool. I think I
Yeah.
like that.
Well, it deserves to have a
Yeah.
be
Oh, yeah.
showcased. It's I mean that artwork is iconic.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the giggling on. I always dislike that on that.
Mm.
You
I
know,
mean,
and all,
it's funny the first couple of times you hear it, but yeah.
Mhm.
like, what are
It's
you guys
old.
smoking? Or you know,
Well, by
Oh,
this time
take your
it was
it was other stuff.
it was science, not nature.
Yeah.
That's a nice way of putting it, Tom.
Mhm.
Oh, anybody know about this? I know there's a picture disc I've heard is going to be available also,
Don't know.
and it says the rejected cover on side 2 and the regular cover on side 1.
Yeah, I mean it's they're having a good time, Caitlin. That's for sure.
No, and we've had it for so long. We've had it since
Yeah.
'96. If it was brand new, we didn't hear it now, we'd be going, "Oh my God, it's so great!" Because I know I felt that way when it came out on the anthology. But obviously, with 25 years plus time, you're like, "Okay,
Right.
I've heard it done." Whatever.
I got to tell you, Tim, would be an interesting idea too.
Yeah.
Just to have the rubber sole photo with no words. Although that might be my favorite of the Beatles UK album covers.
Mhm.
And I like the lettering though, and I do like that
Yeah.
lettering. But yeah, it'll be interesting for a change.
Mhm.
You know.
So
Um, let's see. See if we can get any more comments. There's a lot of comments, but I can't. Anybody see anything you want to comment on? Be my guest. That's don't wait for me to bring it up.
Let's see.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. How is
Yes.
about a 2022 remaster of Pet Sounds?
Andy and I'd be cool with that.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll think
Remix.
this is one where I would buy the box maybe of Pet Sounds if it had an EP in it, and that EP consisted of God Only Knows, Wouldn't It Be Nice, Sloop John B, and then just for the heck of it, they took in Good Vibrations.
right.
Then I would buy the EP only.
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's so funny.
yeah,
People put out.
for you it's Magneto and Titanium, man. For me, it's Pet Sounds.
I know. Oh my God.
There you go.
You-
There you go.
Oh.
You it's definitely one of them. Very favorite cover. Yeah, I love the U.S. cover. I even like it more than the UK cover, which sounds weird because the UK got all those great shots of the Beatles on the Hard Day's Night cover, and then you got black and white in the US, just from here up. But there's something iconic about it, like it's the haircuts, it's those haircuts.
Yeah.
I love they just like center on the mop tops. I love that US and the red background
Yeah.
too.
That is a nice shot. Yep.
There's no filler on Pet Sounds. You're right, Matt Smith. There is not.
That's
Absolutely
right.
not.
Yep.
What do you say? There's no filler?
Yep.
Nope.
I don't know. I think most of the album's filler. Was the Wrecking Crew on that album, by the way?
Yes.
Or
Yes, they were.
Yep.
so it wasn't the Beach Boys, it's the Wrecking Crew.
No.
Their voices were, but that was about it.
Yeah. Right.
Give me 1 second.
Oh man.
Well, Joseph, I'm gonna pop off now. I've got
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
I'd
run
say
in.
I have to run
All right. Well,
too.
we can soon call it to a close if you guys are going to leave, and then I'll see what's up with Tom because we didn't want to make it too long. But thanks, Kit, for coming up,
Oh, it's my
Yep.
pleasure. This
and I
is
appreciate
fun.
it and sharing your thoughts. You too, Andy. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Oh,
Joe. We'll see you next time.
yeah,
You bet.
absolutely. See you, Andy. See you, Joe.
Bye, guys. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Later. Okay, wait. Kit doesn't like Magneto Entertainment. Man, that's always an inside joke. She does not like the song. She's gone now. She can't defend herself, but she may be in the comments. So I'm just gonna wait for Tom a little bit, see where we're at, and yeah, because there's not much to cover right now. We're trying to talk about Revolver and what we think, what we expect, what we've heard about, and we've covered it, but it takes us into different areas, tangents into other Beatles and solo Beatles related subjects, and that's fine. You know, is Tom back?
Yes.
It's just you and I for as long. I mean,
What happened?
well, they had to go,
Oh,
and
okay.
I mean, I wasn't gonna. I was telling them at the beginning I wasn't gonna make it much longer than an hour. We're there now,
Yeah.
but
Right.
if we have a few things to talk about, we can go on a little longer. Uh,
Well, what I mean, have you listened to? Do you listen to the mono at all often, or do you stick with the stereo?
lately it's funny. Like I was saying earlier, I play a lot of. It's sacrilege, I know. The
Mm,
Capital American Revolver. I played vinyl
mm.
a few times, and
Hold
I
on.
like Tomorrow Never Knows sounds different. You could hear different sounds and things in that, so I like that about it. By the way, hi Elliot. Well, we look. That's not in gospel, by the way. I don't know for sure if they're canceling sometime in New York City. So don't anybody go out and say, "Oh, Mr. Mayo said they're canceling sometime in New York City."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know that for a fact to be a fact.
Right.
The rumor is very much right now that they're not. There's rumors because
It's
there's
on
the
hold.
problem. What? Say again?
So it's on hold. I mean, I think
Oh,
that's
it's
the
on
rumor.
hold.
It's just on
There's
hold.
rumors that they're worried about a certain song, "Woman is the End of the World."
Right.
There's stories about, well, maybe because of the Frank Zappa controversy
Right.
with his stuff that's on there. By the way, thank you very much, Peter Boothroyd. I appreciate your help and your contribution. Thanks so much. Uh, yeah, yeah. The Butcher cover is pretty darn cool, but it doesn't shock me anymore. I've seen it so much now. It's like, yeah, it's, just a bunch of guys with doctor's coats and pieces of meat.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I mean, I listened to the mono revolver a couple times, 2 weeks ago or so, and I really dug it. I thought it was good. You
Well,
know.
it's been a long time. I mean, I've heard it's been a long time, but there's a lot of stuff I've heard. I don't play Beatles every day as much as I love
Yeah.
them. I tend to play the solo Beatles more these days,
Same
only
here.
because
Right.
so much Beatles. But
Right.
yeah,
I hear that.
um, yes, Mark, this is going to stay up on YouTube. Yes, indeed, this will stay up. So anybody who missed any of this can see the whole thing if they're so inclined for
Yeah,
whatever
I
they're.
think the record store that In Groove, that's pretty the famous record store out here. He's got a really nice butcher cover, and he's selling it for 3,400.
But what is the situation with? I mean, is it first state, second state, third state? What is it?
Wow, that part I'm not sure, but I mean it's beautiful. I mean it doesn't look like it had the fake cover glued over it. You know what I mean?
If
It
it's
looks
if it's, you mean like as it first came out?
yeah, yeah,
If it's the way it first came out, yeah, then I could see it
yeah.
being 3,400. That first state, as they call it.
Mhm.
Uh, because second states. I mean, there was one I really wanted once. I tell the story from time to time. My record store several years ago had it up there for a year on the wall. It was a stereo version of Yesterday and Today, second state with the paste over, which I
Mhm.
like better. I mean, unless if I can get a first state, never pasted, that's the one I want.
Right.
But I don't care to peel it these days. And the reason I say that is because you can see the butcher cover so many times. There's counterfeits out there.
Mhm.
You can just frame a bootleg, and I don't care. But anyway, and you could see Ringo's shirt under there very clearly on this, and it was stereo and it was shrink wrap.
Mm.
It looked like it was never touched from 1966, and he wanted I think 2,500 originally for it. He was
Mm.
going to go down to 2,000, and I
Right.
was ready to go after a year. Finally, I got a tax refund, and to
Mm.
me, tax refund was like free money.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
Of
said,
course.
okay, I'm doing it. And then all of a sudden, I need a root canal
Oh no.
and a crown, and there it
Yeah.
went. So you had to pick either tooth or butcher cut.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
This is never going to happen. This is never going to. I guarantee you that will never happen.
Yeah.
not on this channel.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
Paulina, let us know what your idea is, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
I miss oh, here we go.
Oh,
Sorry
Paulina
about that.
said something. Yeah.
I might hit you both up. I'm up to someone a video idea. Okay, please, by all means, let us know. Yeah, we know this. I mean, John and Yoko. Talking to the person. I'm sorry, and telling this other person what happened. John and Yoko performed King Kong, but changed the title to Jam Rag, and took songwriting credit on it.
Hmm.
Which, as I've said, which is, it's not. That's terrible. I don't condone that. I think that was wrong. I think John's kind of an idiot for doing that. All I ever say about it is I don't care personally because I'm not a Zappa fan, so it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? But I'm still not going to say it was the right thing or haha, good for you, John,
Right.
or
Right.
anything like that. I just don't get upset about it. Whereas in the opposite scenario, if Zappa was doing it to John, I'd get more upset personally.
You'd be like, "Who the hell is this Zappa guy? I think he is."
Yeah. Don't even know who Zappa is. Somebody said here. Wow, where are we at here? Oh, thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate that. Thank you. Love your channel. Can't wait for the Revolver box set. I'm gonna make my own Beatles channel soon too. Hope you do the
Oh.
Lennon streams here. Yeah, when I said Lennon streams, this thing about I was gonna do. Originally, I said recently I was gonna do a John Lennon channel. Then I said no, I'll just do them here. But that didn't. I don't know how to explain it. I didn't mean I was gonna like start a whole new John Lennon series on this channel. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
continue to do Lennon videos like I was.
Right. Right.
Anyway, not special Lennon videos
Hmm.
for the sake of it. Anyway. Mm.
I saw the 100th anniversary screening of Nosferatu last night.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
That's pretty good.
this is not the best time, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about it because this is going to be a dedicated video. But Tom and I, by the way, we like our movies and we talk about movies, which is a good time for me to say I have another channel which has very little content on it, but check it out, and it's called Mayo After Dark. And occasionally, Tom and I go on there together and do movie talk. And I am interested to hear about this because Nosferatu was out in 1922.
That's right.
And it's a silent, classic
Silent film.
vampire
Yeah.
film. The first Dracula, really.
Yeah. There was a live orchestration with that played along with it. It was really eerie and creepy, which made it even better, in my opinion. So that was really cool. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really cool to see it on the screen.
Yeah, and I just watched, for what it's worth, over on my Mayo After Dark movie channel. I did just watch a bunch of movies, and I'm still trying to think, folks, how to work that channel, movie channel, because like I watched a bunch of different things. I'll give you some titles: Al Pacino in Sea of Love. I watched a Boris Karloff movie called The Man with Nine Lives.
Mm.
And we watched the whole Sopranos series. I do TV shows too. Finish the whole thing.
Oh, you finished The Sopranos?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you do? Do I just make individual movie reviews? Just one for the Karloff film? Review Man with Nine Lives.
Right.
Nobody watches really 30s and 40s films reviews.
Yeah.
And then I do Sea of Love. Or do I do the thing where you say what I've watched lately? Here's a binge thing. Okay, this is like
Right.
a handful of movies I've watched this month, or this something. I don't know I don't know which way to go. So I'm still trying to think of how to do that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love to have a discussion about that right now, but we got to keep this about Revolver, I guess, and Beatles. Uh, so let's see. So, but real quickly though, what'd you think of it? How did it work out for you when you saw Nosferatu?
Yeah, I loved it. I
Is
loved
that your
it.
first time seeing it?
No, no, I own the Blu-ray.
Yeah. Oh,
But
okay.
but yeah, it was the first time hearing it with a live orchestration with it.
Hmm. Okay, this is really a tough one, but I'm gonna go. It could be Paulie Walnuts. I hate to
Of
tell you.
course.
I mean, I really don't know. I mean, Paulie Walnuts, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
Is that yours? Or you just saying, of course, for me? Or you mean
No, I'm just it just sounds it just seems like that's I mean everybody's can pick him for their favorite character because he's so
he's
I
just
think he's likable, you know.
I
Yeah.
don't know. My least favorite is got to be the mother. A lot of people like
Oh yeah.
Livia. I don't understand it. She's annoying. She makes no sense. I can't stand her. And
Mm,
AJ, I can't stand either.
right, right.
Anyway, look what we're talking about. Revolve. What?
I know.
Got 112 people here right now listening to. Sorry, we'll talk about this. No, I lost a few. We'll talk. We'll go back to Beatles. We'll talk about this on the movie channel, some movie and TV
Right.
channel.
Right.
All right. So check out Mayo After Dark, and I'll have. You know what? I can have. Tom, are you familiar with the show
What show?
Sopranos?
Oh, absolutely.
Then we could have you and I know your partner in
Oh,
crime.
Andy is a
Andy's a
Sopranos
fanatic.
freak. Yeah.
You know.
You know, I
So
think this is the set that you got, right? With
yes,
the
that's the one I
yeah,
got.
yeah,
UK
exactly.
set that plays
Yep.
that plays on
Yeah.
Region One players.
There you go.
Okay, what do we got here? Hello, James. I always like the guitar restart on the American version. If I'm looking through, yes, I'm to the point where I gotta have the restart. Like I don't like when it just goes. I like it. Dun 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 dun. I like that a lot better that way. Yeah, we have so many different individual things for each song. I like this
Right.
one better in mono. I like this one better in stereo.
Right. Right.
I prefer the Andy White version of "Love Me Do" to the
Really?
Ringo one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he plays drums better on that. I
Mm.
mean, it's nothing Ringo couldn't do. And I'm saving this for my "Love Me Do." We're going to do a "Love Me Do" video, either video or discussion on October 5th.
Okay.
But because it's just the way I feel. I don't know. I think it's the crash of the cymbals at after the harmonica solo. Dun 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 dun.
Hmm.
I like it a lot better with that. And he also has the tambourine. Ringo plays the tambourine in
Hmm.
the Andy White version.
Yeah.
So I
So
mean
he's
I like it
actually
better.
on it. Yeah, he is on
Yeah,
it.
he is on it. He is
Yeah.
on it. True. You wouldn't want me to do that, Henry, because that's like Pet Sounds for me. I just
Uh,
don't. I don't get it. I don't get. I got to see it again. I got to see it again. I only saw it a couple of times. I could do another view of that. Uh, all right. What do we got here? I like the people around your channel being able to talk about all the music. Nice atmosphere here. Thank you. Nice atmosphere here. Exactly. Yeah, I like doing these. I just don't know how many people watch the whole thing. That's why I don't like it to go too far over an
yeah.
hour. But you know, uh, okay. You like Clockwork
Yes.
Orange?
Yeah, I love that. But he's right. You can when he goes to the record store and he's, you know, you can see the Magical Mystery Tour album on display there.
Magical Mystery Tour, 19. What year is that supposed to be in that
It's
movie?
supposed to be the future, sometime in the future. I don't think they ever really say what
Yeah.
year Clockwork Orange takes place. It's just a futuristic film.
Well, we'll talk about Love Me. Do they gain any traction? Sure, I think a little bit of traction, but I don't think it was the best choice. But what do I know? George Martin seemed to think it was a good choice. I still think "P.S. I Love You" was a better track, but not many people agree with me. So
Yeah. Paulina's birthday was the same day as the 60th anniversary of Ringo's version. And happy birthday, by the way,
oh,
again, Paulina.
happy birthday!
I think she's just turned 40.
Really?
Yeah.
You got 20 years before it all goes downhill.
Yeah, once you hit 60, that's it.
There's no getting around it. You're old. Even though if you don't look or feel it, that doesn't matter. Okay, thank you. Okay, EP3 enthusiast, thank you.
Yeah, that comes out next week.
Vince McMahon. How come I know the name, but I can't think of who it is?
He's the WWF owner.
Oh, who cares? That's my for me. The World Wrestling Show was the thing that was in the way of me watching my late night horror films as a kid. I couldn't wait for it to end, so they put Fright Night on. You know. Oh yeah, that's right. They talk about the Tony Soprano's wife, Nikki
Right.
Pete Best. There's Beatle references in there. There was a reference to "She Loves You" once, I think, early on in the series, but I can't remember. Maybe it was when they were talking about the writing of music. What was that all about? There's a whole bunch of things with Hesh and
Oh, Hesh,
the
because
music.
he was
Yeah, but that
he
didn't
owned
go
the
anywhere.
records.
So much stuff
No,
didn't go anywhere on that. Which I don't understand.
right.
That you got to sit
Just
through those
backstory.
moments.
You had to fill the episode with
Yeah.
backstories, or else that what was it, 8 seasons? It would be 2, you know.
Uh,
Right now, it's the CD box set is $139 on Amazon right now.
hmm. Well, no, I'm laughing at this. 41 already feeling those random aches and pains out of
Oh
nowhere.
boy, yeah, they're
Uh,
gonna keep coming too.
um, yeah. So I mean, pretty excited about Revolver there, huh?
Yeah,
Shows you we got nothing else to say. I'm pretty excited there about
yeah. I
Revolver.
think that's about it for me.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tom, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having
Thanks for
us.
joining me anytime. And again, be sure to watch Tom along with Andy Nichols, who was here earlier, over on their Two Legs Paul McCartney podcast on YouTube.
Thank you.
And we're going to be doing Tom and I do some movie stuff once in a while. Not as
Yeah,
much as we should, or I guess, but we have some movies you want to talk about
yeah,
too in the future. We got to get
absolutely.
Soylent Green done because
Soylent Green. Yeah,
Soylent Green takes place in the future of 2022, and before this year ends, we got to talk about it because this is 2022. In case you hadn't noticed,
right.
we're gonna do that. When are we gonna get the Taxi Driver? I guess when I watch it.
When you watch it.
Right when I watch it. Instead of
Uh,
watching Boris Karloff and Al Pacino, I'm supposed to watch
right.
Robert De Niro. Hey, there's a Robert De Niro movie coming out. There's not many movies that my girlfriend and I say we want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But she said there was one coming up with De Niro that she wanted to see. That was a kind of a gangsterish kind of movie. Is that right?
Killers of the Flower Moon, but that's next year.
Next year, maybe that's what she's
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. But she said in the screen on the in theaters.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know the
Right.
deal. If it's TV or
Because then they just announced that he's gonna play another. He's gonna do a film where he's playing two different gangsters in the same movie. He's gonna play both parts.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's another one I want to see. Maybe see that Brendan Fraser movie.
Oh, the whale.
Yeah, I might want to see that one. I don't know. There's a couple of things I'm interested in. All right, everybody. So thank you all for being here. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Mean Mr. Mayo. There's Beatles content and other kinds of content. And please subscribe over to Tom's channel, Two Legs, which is a McCartney show for the most part. And let us know again in the comments if you missed this what you think about the new Revolver and which versions you're going to buy and what you like and don't like, your complaints if you have any.
Yeah.
See you all soon.
Take care, everyone.